Strap yourselves in.
I'm just going to die first.
Wow.
Yes, this one. We're back in America for this one. I don't know why it came into my head because, like, we were just talking about Jay. And then, I swear to God, Jay's going to get kidnapped one day.
Oh, God.
Like, you know when you go to the shops and there's the people, try the hand cream, try this, do you want to try karate?
The annoying people in the middle of the fucking shopping centre.
He always stops and talks to them.
No.
Like, I've slowly trained him, just don't. Like, you don't need hand cream. You don't need karate lessons.
Definitely not.
But twice now, he's nearly been taken by the Hari Krishnas or whatever they are.
I don't know.
Oh, Hari Krishna?
I don't know.
Krishna is the supreme lord, and that humans are eternal spiritual beings trapped in a cycle of reincarnation. And they sing and shit, and they go around there.
There's too many religions.
There really is. I'll try to find. I'm sure TikTok has videos of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's nearly been taken by them twice.
Okay.
The first one, I think him and his friend was somewhere, and he was like hanging out with them, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to like have a feast or whatever," and then one of them just like opens their boot and has like bowls of rice and shit, and I think kebabs or something, just like in the boot. And then the second time was when we went to Adelaide a couple of years ago, and we'd gone to the pub that's like kind of at the end of Semaphore, and he only had to walk. It was probably like a 10-minute walk to the IGA to get smokes, and he took like 40 minutes. And because he got stopped by them, and they were talking to him, and I was like, oh, and he was like drunk as well, and I was like, oh, you're gonna get picked up. He's gonna get kidnapped. He's gonna get recruited into a cult, and then that's it. He's gone forever because they keep saying he's gonna get kidnapped, but then they'll bring him back.
Yeah.
No one's gonna want him for that long.
All right, so we're back in America.
We're back in America. I did write this. It took me about 4 hours to finish it. And then I went to close the document and I couldn't find it in my Google Drive. And I nearly cried because I thought, oh my God, my script is gone. I've just spent 4 hours on this fucking thing and didn't save it. But it was just, I'd saved it into a different file.
Oh, it's just hiding.
Oh, I nearly cried. And my recommendation is Michelle Laurie's book, who's the host of Australian True Crime. And it's called CSI Told You Lies.
Oh.
It's really good. I think I finished it in like 2 days. But that one's quite good. And they go into like, what was it? Was it a tsunami in Thailand or Bali?
There was in, yeah.
Yeah. But they went into that and like how they didn't know what the fuck to do with all these bodies. And they just kind of put them all in a tent. And they were covered with like bags of ice, and it was really hard to identify people. And, you know, then they had to go through the hotel and be like, okay, this person's in the hotel room. This is who was staying there. And it was really difficult to identify everyone.
Yeah.
And then she went into like the witness, eyewitness testimonies. And she was talking about the cricket player, is it Philip Hook or something? Hookie? Who was like punched outside of a nightclub by a security guard and he died.
Yeah.
And a lot of witnesses kind of said different things. And she went into like how they vary. And then she was talking about the bushfires and like how, some people went in and they just saw like debris, and then other people, professionals went in and they're like, oh, no, that's not rocks, that's teeth. And like it's very interesting. So I'd recommend getting that or listening to it on audiobooks or whatever.
I've been hardcore watching Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Oh.
Doom, doom, doo, 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 doo.
We're still watching House.
Doom, doom. It's on Netflix. They brought it on Netflix. It's also on Prime, but they have ads, and I'm not about
hate
ads.
That. Well, we used to pay for I think it's Netflix at their lowest, their lowest tier. You get ads and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Netflix is all we pay for now because we're only having one at the moment, but then we're going to pay for two because we're watching House. And I don't know what the actress's name. I don't know. Something. But she's also in Once Upon a Time. And so we're going to watch that one next.
Oh, yep.
Yes, but that's on Disney. So we're going to have to get a free trial of Disney and hopefully finish. That's what we did with Stan. We got the free trial of Stan because I wanted to watch the series of The Tattooist of Oswich.
Yes.
And like I've read the book. I cried at the end of the book. We got through one episode and I was like, oh, this is really heavy. And I'm like, I'm very desensitized to everything. But I was like, yeah, anything Holocaust related really gets me.
Yeah.
And like I've got like the next book I'm going to read is like the Anne Frank diary, which I haven't read yet. And then I've got the
Diary of
sequel.
Anne Frank is a read.
I think it's a very old copy of it.
Nice.
But then I've also got the sequel to the Tattooist of Oswich, but I just need to be in the right headspace to read them.
Yeah.
But yeah, today I'm still dying. I feel like the past 6 episodes, I've been sick and now I'm coughing and I'll try to edit. I know.
For once, I'm not sick.
Yeah, you're healthy. I'm dying.
For once, I'm not sick.
But yeah, I'm going to have to go through and edit these and make sure I get all my coughs and sniffs and everything out. I will try my best. If you hear a sniff or a cough, don't come at me. But yeah, today we are in. So we're going to give it away where we are. Oh, I got into the wrong notes. I don't know where we are. We are in Plainfield, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
In Plainfield.
Plainfield.
Are you Googling it?
No.
Oh.
I'm playing a game while listening to you.
So we have the case for you today, being our 10th episode. We thought we'd give you kind of a more famous case that a lot of you might know, and if you don't know it,
you're about to
buckle yourself in, because this one is this one's very fucked. It's a little bit shorter. Like there's not a huge list of victims or like a Gacy or one that have like over 20 victims.
I'm excited.
This one, as I was telling P-Dog before, I was reading a bit of it out to Jay last night and I was laughing because I was so uncomfortable with the contents of the case. Like it's just one that you feel so uncomfortable and ill that you're like, oh my God, I just need to giggle. Like, I don't know. I guess that's like my way of dealing with like things is I will laugh. We'll make a little jokey joke.
Jokey joke.
We've got, that's why our warning on Instagram has a little caution, dark humor. Like, but yeah, this one is really uncomfortable. So strap in. So we'll start in La Crosse, Wisconsin on the 27th of August, 1906, where Edward Theodore Gein was born.
Ed Gein! He's my fave.
Oh, I read Jay the list.
Yeah.
And I was like, they found this and this. And I was like, oh. And he's like, mm-hmm. So if you do know this case, you know what we're talking about. You know what's going to come up and what they find in his house. If you have not heard this case before, prepare yourself.
Ed Gein is legit my fave. I love the story of Ed Gein. I think the reason I can really like him too is because, he kind of just stole stuff from dead people.
Yeah, he did. Well,
yeah,
he did commit murder.
Yeah, but one.
Yeah, it wasn't because.
It's just one.
Because I kept seeing on like once I look at a case, I'll kind of go through Reddit and TikTok and stuff to see what people are saying. And a lot were like, why is he classed as a serial killer?
He's not.
He only killed 2. Because a serial killer has to be 3 or more.
He's not a serial killer. He's just a serial body snatcher.
Yeah.
Or body part snatcher.
But yeah, he's grouped in with serial killers a lot.
Yeah, he's not a serial
killer.
No,
he's just very...
He's just really misunderstood.
He's misunderstood.
He's my fave.
Well, he was born on the 27th of August, which is also my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Not 1906, though.
No.
He's dead. He has no more birthdays.
He still has birthdays.
Yeah, technically.
It's still the day of his birth.
Yes, but
he just doesn't get any older.
No, he's stuck at 64? Yeah, 64.
Okay. That's a big...
So Ed was the second child to George.
Sorry, pause real quick. I just want to throw in there. I have like 2 favorite true crime people, and both of their first names are Ed.
But Ed Gein and Ed
Kemper. Ed Gein and Ed Kemper are both my faves.
I'm a basic bitch. I love a good Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I'm
Ted
sure.
Bundy, John Wayne Gacy. They're like Jay was watching, I think I was like, we had a fight or something, and so he put on a John Wayne Gacy documentary. And I think it was just on TV or something on one of the channels. And I'm like, slowly creeping into the room. I was like, he buried him under the floorboard. And they were about to say something. I'm like, yeah, he did this. Yeah, he rope trick. And I was just like, Joe's like, do you want me to turn it off and you could just tell me the story? But yeah, mine's a very basic bitch. Or there's one we'll cover soon, and it's a unsolved missing person, and it's just...
I don't do unsolved. I mean, I do, but they
are so annoying because you're like, how can you be missing?
I just want to fucking know.
Well, this one was, a guy that went missing in America, and it's just... always like I'm always drawn to that case. Like every time I do, if I'm researching, I'm just like, oh, it's just so weird. It's weird, and he's never been found, and it's just weird.
Yeah, well, the Eds, they're my faves.
Well, Ed was the second child to George Philip Gein and Augusta Wilhelmine Gein.
Wilhelmina. Or Wilhelmine?
Wilhelmine. Wilhelmina makes more sense.
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmine.
That's just another one for our
no
Patreon episode of bloopers.
Wilhelmine. His older brother was named Henry. See, this is the one that, like, my dad's birthday is the 27th, and he got George, who's my uncle. He got Henry. Like, a lot of them I can't remember what the fourth one was. I'm sure to come. His mother, Augusta, was raised in a family of German old Lutherans and grew up believing that every human thought and deed was infected with sin.
Oh, okay.
She was described in various reports as controlling, fervently religious, and domineering.
Yeah, puritanical.
What's that, like Jesus-y?
Like Puritan, yeah. Like very religious and...
Oh, that was definitely her. She grew up as one of 8 children in a family of German immigrants from Prussia who had settled in La Crosse, Wisconsin. According to the beliefs of the old Lutherans, all humans were full of sin, both in thoughts and actions. Humans, they said, were infected with immoral motives. Because of this, they also believed all humans deserved to burn in hell.
Yeah.
How do you, like, all human, like, isn't that a part of you as well? Like, that's, you're a human. So they don't believe, like, oh, you're good, and if you sin, you'll go to hell. It's just, you came out of that womb as a sinner, and you deserve to burn in hell.
Yep.
Augusta passed these beliefs on to her sons and instilled in them that sex was evil and that women were instruments of the devil, and would reserve time every afternoon to read from the Bible, usually selecting verses from the Old Testament and the book of Revelations concerning death, murder, and divine retribution.
Babe, you are a woman.
Yeah. Every woman is the devil except me.
Every woman is evil and sex is bad.
But I am Jesus.
But I've obviously fucked because I've got kids.
Yeah. It's like, how can you be like, I'm so pure and I'm not the devil? Or it's like, you're a woman. You've
had sex.
Yeah. I don't know if I put it in, but like there was one bit that I was reading that she just like she was just so against sex. And she's like, oh, even for procreation, but also you've got to make a family. I was like, well, that doesn't work. They kind of both.
Yeah, babe.
Like I get like all the other ones, like you can only have sex if you're procreating. But no,
well, you just require a lot of practice.
Yeah,
obviously.
Practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, and then you get a fat little baby like I did.
He's beautiful.
Oh, he's so cute. Throughout the years, George worked a series of jobs such as a carpenter, a tanner, and an insurance salesman. A tanner, they don't tan people.
Nope, that's hides.
Yeah, they did. Tanning.
Animal hides, aren't it?
Yeah, which is a process of treating skins and hides of animals to produce leather.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I know some things.
It's just what Ed does later, and his father was a tanner, and you're like, oh, how
Yeah.
did you? It's like Jeffrey Dahmer, how his dad liked to like taxidermy animals.
It's also like Catherine Knight, who
Worked at the abattoir. And
fucking used to skin the animals and shit, and then did
Yeah.
it to her mans.
George struggled to keep any job for very long due to his struggles with alcoholism. Augusta during this time ran a small grocery store and tried to keep the family home in order. Due to George not being able to keep a steady job and probably just being drunk all the time, she began to resent him. However, Augusta's fuck, can she just change her name? Org's strong religious beliefs prevented her from divorcing him, so her resentment grew more and more. Soon enough, she developed a deep hatred of men in general and dreamed of having a daughter. But in 1906, Augusta gave birth to another boy, Edward Gein. It's funny, like, their relationship is so close, even though he was a boy.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted a daughter. You think it would be the other way around, where she's like, fuck, I wanted a girl, and you're a boy.
Fuck you.
Not wanting to have Ed grow up to be like his father or all the other men she loathed, she raised Ed with an overbearing protectiveness that slowly warped his perception of the world. In 1915, Augusta had grown sick of living in La Crosse, or Crosse? I'm assuming it's Crosse, which she considered to be a hotbed of sin. Anywhere the lady's going to think it's a hotbed of sin.
A hotbed of sin.
She demanded that the family move to an isolated farmhouse near the rural town of Plainfield, Wisconsin, which became their permanent residence. Augusta took advantage of the farm's isolation by turning away outsiders who could influence her sons. She believed that in this house she could raise Ed and Henry to become the pure men she wanted them to be.
Yeah, babe. Okay.
The boys only left the farm to attend the nearby Rochadcree grade school, which was a one-room building with 12 students.
Aww.
There's 2 of them, so there's 10 other students. Ed was remembered by classmates and teachers as having strange mannerisms, such as seemingly randomly laughing, as if he were laughing at his own personal jokes. Ed was known to be an avid reader, but he struggled to fit in with other children. He was shy and had a lazy eye, as well as a lesion on his tongue that affected his speech. To make matters worse, Augusta punished him whenever he tried to make friends.
Aw.
That's so sad.
That's mean. Let the boy make friends.
Yeah. Both George and Augusta would also physically beat both boys.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah, 1915, of course. Augusta was worried that Ed would turn out like his father, an alcoholic failure, and believed that isolating him from his peers was the way to prevent this.
I don't think so.
When Ed was 12, Augusta caught him masturbating in the bathtub. She grabbed his genitals and referred to them as the curse of man.
I mean, true.
Like, imagine how fucking awkward that would be, though.
Yeah.
As
Just having your mum grab your dick.
Yeah. Mum, please. As a show of devotion to her, Augusta asked her sons to remain virgins, warning them that having sex would ultimately lead to their damnation. By this time, Ed was 21 and Henry was 25.
Wow.
Like, if you're going to ask of that, maybe do it when they're like 12, 13.
Let the boys fuck.
Yeah.
Consensually.
Consensually. But like...
Because otherwise they turn out like Ed Gein.
Yes. Poor Ed. I don't know how I feel about Ed. Like, he's fucked up.
He's
but like,
my fave. Oh, Eddie.
On the 1st of April 1940, George died after complications from pneumonia which caused his lungs to be filled with fluid at the age of 66. Augusta showed little concern over her husband's passing, attributing his death to his weakness and sinful nature. And frequently commented that he had gone to hell.
She's something else.
She's I don't know. I guess she should have just divorced him. But being very religious, can't have
She was
divorced
a
him.
Puritan. Can't do that.
Who else killed? Oh, Denise Williams killed Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm too religious to divorce you, but
But
well,
just
at least
die.
she didn't murder him. She was just happy he was dead.
And happy that he went to hell and it was his fault that he died.
Because he was sinful. But like, they had a massive property. Surely you could have just lived in separate parts of the house and not like hated him so much.
Yeah.
So he'd gone to hell. Ed and his brother Henry began doing odd jobs around town to help cover living expenses. The brothers were generally considered reliable and honest by the rest of the community. While both worked as handymen, Ed also frequently babysat for neighbours. He enjoyed babysitting, seeming to relate more easily to children than adults. But now that their father was dead, Augusta had complete control over her household, and Ed was all but completely devoted to her. You can just see like all the little red flags popping up. Just ping, ping, ping.
Yep.
Around this time, Henry began dating a divorced mother of two and planned to move in with her. Henry expressed concern over Ed and Augusta's unhealthy relationship, a criticism which mortified Ed. On the 16th of May 1944, Ed and Henry had been clearing excess vegetation in a nearby field by burning it away. The fire got out of control, drawing the attention of the local fire department. By the I remembered when Jay set the fence on fire because he was burning the weeds.
Yeah.
Different outcome, but by the end of the day, the fire having been extinguished and the firefighters gone, Ed reported his brother as missing. The police then organised a search party and were surprised upon reaching the farm to have Ed lead them directly to Henry, who was lying dead on the ground. It's a bit suspicious, Ed. He's right here.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, he's missing. Have a search party. Hello, police. I'll take you straight to the body.
Yes, I found him. He is here.
What a surprise. He is right here. I stumbled across him.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Apparently, he had been dead for some time, and it appeared that the cause of death was heart failure, since he had not been burned or injured otherwise. It was later reported by biographer Harold Schechter that Henry had bruises on his head. And I don't think he had like smoke in his lungs or anything as well.
So he didn't die from the fire?
No, I doubt it. And it was right after the comment of, hey, you and Mum's relationship is really unhealthy.
Yeah.
I'm moving out.
Yeah.
Bang, he's dead.
Dead.
The authorities accepted the accident theory, but no...
Don't be suspicious.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious.
We don't have time to investigate that. And I'm sure, like, the mom would have been like, oh, my poor boy.
Yeah.
It was a fire. But no official investigation was conducted and an autopsy was never performed, as they did not believe that Ed was a man capable of murder.
Yeah.
With Henry now deceased as well, Ed and Augusta were now alone. Shortly after Henry's death, Augusta suffered a paralyzing stroke and Ed devoted himself to taking care of her. Sometime in 1945, he and his mother visited a man named Smith who lived nearby to purchase straw. According to Ed, Augusta witnessed Smith beating a dog.
Okay.
A woman inside the Smith residence came outside and yelled for him to stop, but Smith had beat the dog to death.
Oh, no.
Augusta was extremely upset by the scene. However, what bothered her did not appear to be the dead dog, but rather the presence of the woman.
What?
Augusta told Ed that the woman was not married to Smith and she had no business being there, and angrily called her Smith's harlot.
Oh, you little harlot.
Don't worry about the dog he's just beaten to death.
Yeah, no, that's not a sin at all.
Yeah. Thou shalt not murder.
Yeah.
Thou shalt
Not kill.
Yeah. Augusta suffered from a second stroke and her health deteriorated rapidly. She also started to have wild mood swings. Sometimes she would berate and accuse him of being a useless failure like his father.
Aww.
But at other times, she would talk softly to him, tell him that he was a good boy, and even let him sleep in the same bed as her. Hold on.
Healthy.
Quick maths. He would have been 39.
Yeah, sleep in bed with mummy. Oh, I just made myself feel sick. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yuck. Do you reckon, like, I don't know, there's speculation.
I love my son, but I swear to God, if he is still wanting to sleep in my bed at 36, there's something wrong with him.
But, like, I feel like they were a bit...
They were too close.
There would have been something going on. Like, the husband's dead. On the 29th of December 1945, at the age of 67, Augusta died.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
She was nasty.
She was a bit bitch, yeah. Ed was devastated by her death. In the words of Harold, what was his name? Schutter?
Shit. Yeah.
He had lost his only friend and one true love, and he was absolutely alone in the world. Because, like, she didn't let him have friends.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to.
His friends were his family, and now his family's all dead.
He possibly killed his bro, and his mum went and died.
Yeah, and the dads died. Like, well, he wasn't allowed to make friends. There was 10 students in the town. Oh, he probably made friends with, like, a cow or something.
Yeah.
Ed held onto the farm and earned money from odd jobs. He boarded up rooms used by his mother, including the upstairs and downstairs parlours, the living room, and her bedroom, leaving them untouched.
Okay, like a shrine.
Yeah.
A shrine to mummy.
While the rest of the house became increasingly squalid, these rooms remained pristine. It's just so creepy.
Yeah.
Ed lived in a small utility room next to the kitchen, which he had turned into his bedroom.
Okay.
Ed's overall condition gradually began to worsen. Acquaintances noted how foul he smelled, how ragged his appearance became, and how unstable he seemed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's unstable.
Around this time, he became interested in reading pulp magazines and adventure stories, particularly those involving cannibals or Nazi atrocities, specifically concerning Icy Kosh, I don't know, who selected tattooed prisoners for death in order to fashion lampshades and other items from their skin.
Yeah.
They're already decorated. They got tattoos on them.
Yeah.
On the morning of November 16th, 1957, 58-year-old Plainfield hardware store owner Bernice Warden disappeared. The hardware store's truck was seen driving out from the rear of the building around 9:30 a.m. The hardware store saw few customers the entire day. Some area residents believed that this was because of deer hunting season. Duck hunting, rabbit hunting, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. You're from Looney Tunes?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just laughing at you.
You looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I picked up what you were putting down.
Duck season, rabbit season. And my favourite's when Bugs Bunny does his Elmer Fudd's hair. It's do 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 do. So Bernice's son, Bernice's son, Deputy Sheriff Frank Warden. Out of all the ladies in the town, Ed, you had to pick the Deputy Sheriff's mum.
Yeah, bro.
Entered the store around 5 p.m. to find the cash register open and blood stains on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Warden told investigators that on the evening before his mother's disappearance, Ed Gein had been in the store and was expected to have returned the next morning for a gallon of antifreeze. A sales slip for the antifreeze was the last receipt written by Bernice on the morning that she disappeared.
Silly, silly Ed.
Good. Oh. Again, he wasn't the brightest, but he did get away with a lot of shit.
For some time.
That evening, Ed was arrested at the West Plainfield grocery store, and the sheriff's department searched the Gein farm. The farmhouse was in utter chaos. Inside, junk and rotting garbage covered the floor and counters. It was almost impossible to walk through the rooms. The smell of filth and decomposition was overwhelming. I think I might have mistaken this part for Catherine Knight. This is while local sheriff Arthur Chalet inspected the kitchen with his flashlight, he felt something brush against his jacket. When he looked up to see what he'd run into, he faced a large, dangling carcass hanging upside down from the beams. The carcass had been decapitated, slit open, and gutted. An ugly sight to be sure, but a familiar one in that deer hunting part of the country, especially during deer hunting season. I think that's what I got there on the Catherine Knight one, where they...
Yeah.
Or maybe it happened in both. Who knows?
Well, she definitely was gutted and hanging upside down, so...
It took a few moments to sink in, but soon he realised that it wasn't a deer at all. It was the headless, butchered body of Bernice Warden. She had been hung upside down by ropes at her wrists with a crossbar at her ankles. Police found her head in a burlap sack in another part of the house. Nails had been hammered through each ear and tied together with twine as if in readiness for the head to be hung up as a trophy.
Yeah.
She had been shot with a... You don't say the point, do you? Point 22? Say a 22 caliber?
Yeah, it's a 22 caliber.
What are the point in front of it? Americans, let us know what the point means. Or Google. She'd been shot with a 22 caliber rifle, and the mutilations were made after her death. I feel like that's the only silver lining when that shit happens is like, okay, they were dead. They didn't feel anything that the person was doing.
Yeah. It's a something.
Searching the house, the authorities found...
This is my favourite.
This is like...
the nipple belt is the best. Have you looked up the pictures?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to put the pictures up? If not, Google them. The nipple belt. Ooh.
I don't know. I'll try if they get taken down.
The skull bowls.
Oh, I have the whole list.
Yeah, go through it because I love this bit.
Oh, so they found whole human bones and fragments. It just progressively gets worse. A wastebasket made of human skin. Imagine the smell of the house. Human skin covering several chairs. Skulls on his bedpost. Female skulls, some with the tops sawn off. Bowls made from human skulls. A corset made from a female torso, skinned from shoulders to waist. Leggings made from human leg skin. I don't know what the leggings get me, because I just picture like if he got the skin of someone that was smaller than him, he would just rip them.
Yeah.
Oh, unless he put fucking spandex in them. Masks made from the skin of female heads. Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag. Mary Hogan's skull in a box. So Mary Hogan was
the dead woman.
The other person that he murdered. Bernice Warden's heart in a plastic bag in front of Ed's potbelly stove.
The box of vulvas.
9 vulvas in a shoebox.
Just sliced off a bunch of vaginas. Well, vulvas.
A young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females judged to have been about 15 years old. A belt made from female human nipples.
Nipple belt.
4 noses. A pair of lips on a window shade drawstring. A lampshade made from the skin of a human face. Fingernails from female fingers. And a female human nipple doorbell.
Ding dong.
Oh, I read all them out to Jay last night, and he's just looking at me. I'm like, they just get worse. Like, so that was what they found. I'm sure there was more body parts and blood and bits of skin, but could you imagine the smell?
He was a collector.
He was a freak.
Hey, don't be mean to my buddy.
Oh, these artifacts were photographed at the State Crime Laboratory and then decently disposed of.
He was very creative.
He was, yeah.
He fucking sewed together a nipple belt. Like, skin's
why?
hard to sew, you know?
Yeah, it would be quite thick, wouldn't it?
It also depends on, like, obviously he was raiding dead people, so
Oh, so they were probably a
it
bit
was probably a bit
not as
not in good condition,
tight.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, dear
Started to
God.
degrade a little.
My brain's starting to degrade. I've had to look at that list 4 times now. Oh.
I've looked at that list maybe 4,000 in my life.
4 times, like in the past 24 hours, I've had to go through that list. When questioned, Ed told investigators that between 1947 and 1952, he had made as many as 40 nocturnal visits to 3 local graveyards to exhume recently buried bodies while he was in a dazed-like state. Ed said that in 1947 he began experiencing strange visions. He felt compelled to visit the graveyard where his mother was buried. There, he started digging up corpses, beginning with his mother. He twisted her head from her body with his bare hands, then attempted to shrink it in a fashion similar to what he had read about in his books. He then began scanning obituaries of recently deceased women who resembled his mother, prowling graveyards where they were buried and stealing their body parts.
He's a sick motherfucker.
This is just,
He's fucked. I love it.
it's just, yeah. As he would later tell police, he did this in the hopes of creating a woman's suit so that he could become his mother.
Yeah, he's a little bit... He's very disturbed.
He's fucked.
He missed his mummy.
He wanted to crawl inside the skin of his mother. Oh. But it just shows how, like, fucking...
toxic that relationship was. It was
Yeah.
fucked up.
that he wanted to create his mum. Like, he could have gone fucking Carl Tanzler and just, like, you know, propped her back together with a dead body. But,
No, he wanted to become her.
he wanted to become her with... Oh, God. All right. To become his mother. Edward robbed the grave soon after the funerals while the graves were not completed. During state crime laboratory interrogations, Ed also admitted to shooting 51-year-old Mary Hogan, a tavern owner missing since December 8th, 1954, whose head was found in his house, but he later denied memory of the details of her death.
Yeah. That bit I don't love.
I hate when they do... I don't remember. But he's got a few mental issues, so...
He very well could have not remembered.
Yeah.
But also he's fucked.
Yeah.
We've established that.
He's
He
just-
is fucked.
He's a whole thing. A 16-year-old youth whose parents were friends of Ed and who attended baseball games and movies with him reported that Ed kept shrunken heads in his house, which he had described as relics sent by a cousin who served in the Philippines during World War II. Upon investigation by police, these were determined to be human facial skins, carefully peeled from the corpse and used by Ed as masks. Oh.
What a psycho.
It's just fucked. Ed told detectives how he would wear the human skin shirt around the house at night and often place the female genitalia over his own naked groin to pretend he was a woman.
Do you reckon he did like the tuck first? Do you reckon he tucked himself
Just
back?
a bit of
and
glue
then-
or something.
and then just like put it there?
Oh, it's just... Oh, Ed.
Ed's got some problems.
Ed's got a lot of issues. On the 21st of November 1957, Ed was arraigned on 1 count of first-degree murder, where he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and found mentally incompetent, thus unfit for trial. He was sent to the Central State Hospital for the criminally insane, now the Dodge Correctional Institution, a maximum security facility in in Wapoon, and later and later transferred to the Mendota State Hospital in Madison.
Mendota.
In 1968, doctors determined Ed was mentally able to confer with counsel and participate in his defense. The trial began on the 7th of November 1968 and lasted 1 week. A psychiatrist testified that Ed had told him that he did not know whether the killing of Bernice Warden was intentional or accidental. Ed had told him that while he examined a gun in the Warden's store, the weapon discharged and killed her. He said that he had not aimed the rifle at Bernice and did not remember anything else that happened that morning. So, like, oh, I might have accidentally shot her. Like, if she was shot, sure,
me.
reasonable doubt. But then you took her home
Yeah.
and strung her up and decapitated her and gutted her.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be like, that was accidental?
I don't think it was, Ed.
I
Eddie
slipped
boy.
with my knife multiple times.
Yeah.
Ed showed no signs of remorse or emotion during the many hours of interrogation. When he talked about the murders and of his grave robbing escapades, he spoke very matter-of-factly, even cheerful at times. He had no concept of the enormity of his crimes.
No.
Ed's trial was held without a jury, with Judge Robert H. Golmar presiding. After testimony by doctors for the prosecution and defense, Judge Golmar ruled Ed not guilty by reason of insanity and ordered him committed to Central State Hospital for the criminally insane. Which cases like this, like, yeah, 100%, that's where he needs to go, because he's not right.
He's fucked.
Oh, Ed.
Eddie boy.
The Gein farm and the 195-acre property were appraised at $4,700, which is about $51,000 now.
Oh.
For 191 acres.
That's not a lot.
That's crazy. His possessions were scheduled to be auctioned on the 30th of March 1958, amidst rumours that the house and the land it stood on might become a tourist attraction. But in the early morning of March 30th, the house was destroyed by a fire.
Oh.
Arson was suspected, but the cause of the fire was never officially determined.
Yeah.
It was like there was someone burning shit like next door or something.
Yep.
But like when they investigated, the fire hadn't, you'd see a trail of fire. And it just, there was no trail. It was just spooky. I always think it's the brother. The brother's like, one last fuck you.
Yeah.
You think I burnt in a fire? I'm going to burn this house down. When Ed learned of the incident while in detention, he shrugged and said, just as well.
Okay. Okay.
Ed's Ford sedan, which he used to haul the bodies of his victims, was sold at public auction for $760, which is the equivalent. I did my conversions this episode. $8,259 to carnival sideshow operator Bunny Gibbons.
Okay.
Bunny charged carnival goers 25 cents, or $2.72 now, admission to see the car.
Okay.
He's like, this will be great at my carnival.
Yeah, everyone look at this.
On the 26th of July, 1984, Ed Gein died at the Mendota Mental Health Institution due to respiratory failure secondary to lung cancer when he was 77 years old.
Aww. Ed.
Over the years, souvenir seekers chipped pieces from his gravestone at the Plainfield Cemetery until the stone itself was stolen in 2000. It was recovered in June 2001 near Seattle, Washington, and was placed in storage at the Washara County Sheriff's Department. Oh, dear God.
Psycho.
In addition to the murders of Mary Hogan and Bernice Warden, Ed was also considered a suspect in several unsolved cases in Wisconsin. However, lie detector tests seemingly exonerated Ed of any other murders, and his psychiatrist concluded that his violence was only directed to women who physically resembled his mother. Because there was a bunch of ones like, might have been, this 8-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl, or this or that.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, no, here. And he goes, it's like, Ted Bundy with the middle part and whatever.
Yeah. He's literally just after recreating his mum. A 9-year-old's not going to do that.
Maybe he wanted a younger version of her.
Maybe. You never know.
So Ed Gein's story has had a lasting effect on pop culture as evidenced by its numerous appearances in film, music, and literature. The first tale came to widespread public attention in the fictionalized version presented by Robert Balch in his 1959 suspense novel Psycho. In addition to Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film of the novel Psycho. There's also been the 2007, there's fucking heaps of them, but I just picked some
Yeah.
out. 2007 horror film Ed Gein, The Butcher of Plainville. Rob Zombie's film House of a Thousand Corpses and its sequel. And Ed Gein, the musical.
Hey, I didn't know there was a musical. I want to find Ed Gein the musical.
I think it was on I want to say BBC or something.
I need to watch Ed Gein the musical.
It's from 2010.
Oh, I love musicals.
Ed Gein, the musical.
I'm going to watch it.
Ed Gein has also served as the inspiration for Norman Bates from Psycho, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lamb, and Dr. Oliver Thredson from season 2 of American Horror Story. That's my well-known one. And
Buffalo Bill's my well-known one, because I remember the first time I watched Silence of the Lambs, I was like 8 because my dad
Jesus
put it
Christ.
on. We were actually on holiday in Adelaide and my dad put it on for my brother and I just happened to be there for it. And I remember the fucking head in the thing in the back of the
I
car.
haven't seen it. It's
Yeah, it was
Silence
like-
of the Lambs with Jack Nicholson.
It's with Anthony Hopkins and Sigourney Weaver. I put the lotion in the bath.
What's the one where he axes through the door? And he's like, here's Johnny.
That's Psycho, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. Never mind. What does he say? Jack Nicholson.
That's not Silence of the Lambs, I can tell you that.
The Shining.
The Shining.
That's what it's from. And The
Why did I
Simpsons.
say Psycho?
Because we were just talking about Psycho.
We did say Psycho like 25 times. That's probably why.
And then The Simpsons do it. No TV and no beer makes Homer go something, something. Crazy? Don't mind if I do.
We have a lot of Simpsons
Yeah.
references, and for some reason, your brain always singing Hawaii Five-O on this pod.
But yeah, that was Ed Gein.
Eddie,
He's God unstable.
fucked up.
He's a lot. Imagine the officers that had to fucking find lampshades made of people's heads and vulvas and
nipple
a
belt.
and a nipple doorbell.
Ding dong.
Do you reckon the doorbell was at his front door?
Maybe.
Says no door knockers and then just a nipple doorbell.
Please ring my nipple bell.
Please twist. Like those old school
Nipple
bring
people.
bring. Oh no.
Oh, Ed.
I remember dad at the Bowls Club. There was a guy called Old Tom and I was like, I want to say like 12.
Yeah.
And this guy was like in his 80s, 90s or something. And dad was the person everyone went to fix their computer.
Yeah.
Because he used to build computers. And we went to Old Tom's house and he had the bring bring doorbell that you'd twist and it would
Yeah.
ring. I thought that was really cool.
That's very cool.
But yeah, that was Mr. Ed Gein.
Mr. Ed Gein.
Oh, who's just makes my stomach hurt.
He's a mess.
He is a mess. He's a mess of a human being. And
Yeah.
oh dear God. I was talking to Jay last night about how I'm going to try and find a pen pal in prison.
Yeah.
And see if they send me stuff. Maybe they'll want to be on the podcast.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll send me a letter. Because Ed Kemper's still alive.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize. Like I just assumed they're all dead.
Nah.
But yeah, there's quite a few that are still alive. So I'm going to try researching how to get in touch with them. See what they say. I'm sure they get 12,000 emails and letters and all
Yeah.
that shit.
They would.
But there's some, like I was listening to, like I've been binging podcasts at the moment, and some of them are still like out. Like they got like fucking Instagram pages and shit, and they're like, you know, they got TikToks and they're making
Yeah.
money of murdering their mum.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy that like, you know, not like a Gypsy Rose or whatever, but like
Yeah.
other ones that it's like, there was one, I think I'm getting two cases in my head confused, but I think it's the one where she killed her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, but then she carved something into her arm. She carved like, I'm a boy or you're a boy or something.
Don't know.
Oh, but yeah, she killed the boyfriend. I'm pretty sure she's out.
Oh.
Yeah, just a lot. Well,
Well, some of them do get out.
yeah, it's fucked when they murder someone or are heavily in the planning of murder someone, and then they get a celebrity status. But
yeah.
anywho,
They are infamous, not famous.
yes. All right. Well, we'll catch you next week when I don't know where we're going because I haven't done the scripts.
We'll catch you next week when we do it.
When we talk about murder.
Yep.
Or a missing person. Or a cult.
Something to do with true crime.
It's up in the air. But
That's how disorganized we are.
I do 3 at a time. And then the next 3. But yeah, you can follow us on Instagram or email us or buy
Buy some coffee.
buy some cough medicine. Oh, all right. I'm going to go die. Thank you for listening.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.